Okay, Pumps, I think we should do a little check-in on Fox News. There's so much breaking news regarding a sitting president of the United States covering up for a pedophile. And apparently this president is knee-deep into all of these investigations. And so let's just do a little check-in on Fox and see. I'm sure that they are really hitting the pavement. Kylie, let's scroll through. Let's see. 6 Democrats who helped end the government shutdown. A scary discovery. It's interesting. Oh, they are bringing up Prince Andrew, Toyota.
Bill Clinton.
Okay, Bill Clinton. They're linking Bill Clinton to Epstein, which, I mean, no surprise there. Do we have Trump? I mean, we're getting way deep into the Fox News page, you guys. Any link with Trump and Epstein?
Oh my
I'm sure
gosh.
any minute we're going to have trans badminton pop up.
Where's Riley Gaines when you need her?
Okay, so as you can see, this perfectly illustrates the 2 different silos that people live in. And what would typically be career ending for a lot of politicians is not career ending for Donald Trump, because he gets so much cover from right-wing media, the family values media. All right, so this is pretty interesting, Pumps. Peter Thiel, as everybody knows, is the investor into JD Vance. And when I say investor, this is what I mean. JD Vance made his splash in the world. I'm from Appalachia. My mother was a drug addict. I was on food stamps. I was able to go get an Ivy League education. I'm going to write a book about how hard it is to be poor and addicted. And then Peter Thiel scoops him up and he goes out to Silicon Valley and he pops back out. Everybody knows he looks like he got queer-eyed. He starts wearing this eyeliner. He's lost weight. He's dressed a little bit snazzier. So Peter Thiel's this gay man that, as a side hustle, gives lectures about the Antichrist. And I just don't.
It's crazy. I've read it.
It's so crazy to even say that out loud. But Peter Thiel has an Epstein connection, you guys. This is crazy. And I want to play a clip from Peter Thiel on Joe Rogan to give some context here of their relationship. Play the clip.
Epstein a few times as well, and I think.
How'd you get introduced?
It was Reid Hoffman in Silicon Valley introduced us in 2014, but it was basically didn't ask enough questions about it. I think there were sort of a lot of things where it was fraudulent. I do think Epstein knew a lot about taxes.
And you were introduced to him. How was he described to you?
He was described as one of the smartest tax people in the world.
Interesting.
And I probably was my moral weakness that I.
Well, how could you have known back then? He had never been arrested.
No, this was 2014. It was post arrest.
Oh, so his arrest was the first arrest, right?
Yeah,
which was like
2007, 08.
Okay. This is what's so crazy about this. We've played the clip before where Jesse Waters is talking to RFK Jr. You've never been on Epstein's plane. He goes, I've been on Jeffrey Epstein's plane 2 or 3 times. And then this guy's like, no, I met up with him after he was arrested for trafficking and raping children because I thought he was a tax expert. It's just absolutely bizarre. So we have that happened on Joe Rogan a couple of months ago, that he sought the expertise of tax expert Jeffrey Epstein, which I'd never heard that before. Maybe that's a thing. I don't know. But did you see how he fumbled and stumbled?
Yes.
I'm no FBI interrogator, but I've watched enough fictional interrogation
to know that was a bad answer.
To know that you would have antennas going off that he's lying and fumbling and reaching. All right, so now there's an email exchange that has come out between Epstein and Thiel, and this is from Jeffrey Epstein to Peter Thiel, and it says, "That was fun. See you in 3 weeks." Now, I don't know what they're talking about. I don't know if talking about tax expertise is fun to people like this. I don't know what the context is. But why is everybody, all of these powerful people, completely connected to these Epstein files? And it seems like, there's no question Bill Clinton is in them. But it also seems like we had that Tom Barrack in the episode we covered earlier today. We have Peter Thiel, who is the funder of and master, I believe, that's just my opinion, of JD
maybe
Vance.
Lover, maybe ex-lover.
Yeah, little smoky. All right. And I want to play a video of what JD Vance was up to yesterday. JD Vance is devolving at such a rapid fire rate. I remember back when he was campaigning with Trump. It wasn't as bad as it is now. The Riz meter is so low right now. And he face plants every time he's on camera. And it makes me question, like, this theory that I have, that as soon as you cave to these morally bankrupt people, Donald Trump, Peter Thiel, Mark Zuckerberg, you become worse and worse of a human being. So here is JD Vance trying to provide Trump cover and trying to make himself look cool. Play the clip.
Very my cabinet.
That's right. Well, I mean, I don't know if you saw this video circulating on social media, but the president met the president of Syria, al-Shara, in the Oval Office a couple of days ago, and he asked him, he's like, "Well, how many wives do you have?"
It's a knee slapper.
And it's just like, oh, what an amazing question. Amazing comedic timing. There are layers to it. There's like a meta humor to it. It's just, anyway, but we've got.
Okay, layers, meta humor, amazing comedic timing. Listen, here's the thing. I get that he's going to sit there and be a sycophant and go hard in the paint for Trump. Did you hear the audience interaction? I mean, that sounded like at least maybe 100 people that go along with this. That's what's always so surprising to me about all things Trump. Trump in isolation and a few asshole buddies around him that won't say anything bad about him, I get. But the millions of people that go along with this, that somehow that's just hilarious. How many wives do you have? And the comedic timing and the meta humor. I mean, come on, we're not stupid.
Well, here's the thing. I think some people are stupid because when I dig around in social media, like he will say the most inappropriate thing and his sycophants are like, oh my God, she's just hilarious. I'm like, you people wouldn't know humor if it came and bit you on the ass because this is stupid.
Okay, so here is the clip in question. And I just think we should never normalize that we have a QVC president. Okay? Every single time he has people in the Oval, he's showing off his merch, he's showing off his interior design projects. He really has no interest in foreign policy as far as advancing the United States government as a country. He just seems to want to do deals with really rich and powerful people and kick these deals to his sons, Dumb and Dumber. So here he is, Kanks, doing his QVC hour with the leader of Syria. Play the clip.
Men's fragrance. Yeah. This is what,
Look at him.
it's the best fragrance. Come here, Max. I have one here, sir. Okay?
Like, really?
What we'll do is just take that, Joe, put it in. And then the other one is for your wife. How many wants? One for what? I guess I never know. I never.
Okay, imagine for 1 second if this was a Kamala Harris presidency and she was spraying world leaders with perfume in a QVC hour. Imagine if Barack Obama did that. Imagine if Sleepy Joe, Crooked Biden. And this is what's just so appalling to me, that he gets away with so much shit, even that. Like even the QVC hour in the White House is completely normalized. The double standard in which this man is covered is the most sickening thing about it for me at this point.
No, I completely agree. And the irony in all this is anybody who's been around Trump for more than 5 minutes says he smells like shit. Like literally smells like shit. We have eyewitnesses from his criminal trial that said he sat and farted the whole time and didn't know. And there was like a green fog of shit. We've got the diaper stories. This man smells and he's hawking perfume. It's irony's dead. Again, Trump killed irony.
I mean, if we were just to even start talking about all of the things that he sells, the cologne, the Trump trout, the Trump Bible,
my favorite.
The Christmas ornaments, the Bible
the
with
NFT cards.
Yes, he's such a grifter. It's a QVC knickknack riffraff. Okay. This is just really stunning to me. Jeffrey Epstein is one of the worst people besides a lot of the priests in the Catholic Church and probably Jim Jordan and the people at Ohio State.
Right.
That I think about of my lifetime, like really, really horrible people. Jeffrey Epstein is right at the top. Jeffrey Epstein thought Trump was the worst person ever. And Pumps, they spent Thanksgiving Day together in 2017.
That was stunning.
At the White House. Mm-hmm. So this is a quote from Jeffrey Epstein. I have met some very bad people. None as bad as Trump. Not one decent cell in his body. This is coming from a mass child predator of a crazy, crazy scale that exploited poor women, used Ghislaine Maxwell's femininity and maternal nurturing to these girls to lure them into a false sense of security. And these people were recruited from the poorest neighborhoods in Florida. And this guy says that about Trump. And then it's revealed in the release from the Jeffrey Epstein's estate. Jeffrey Epstein, after all of this has been revealed, he spent Thanksgiving with Donald Trump in 2017, you guys. For any other person, I don't care if you're a politician or not, that is career ending. In 2017, everybody knew this guy was a massive predator, a child rapist, the worst of the worst. And he's sitting in the White House with the president of the United States. And he's also, we revealed in another episode earlier this morning that he was giving this information to foreign governments. How not, 5, 10 Republicans are not breaking away to get this guy out of office is just something that tells you how far American culture has fallen since Watergate. The press was unbiased and held that man to account. The Bernstein and Woodward. And Republicans told Nixon, we will not support you. You can either resign or we're going to impeach you. And look at how far we've fallen. Look at all the cover that is provided for this man. And the American media won't even touch that Jeffrey Epstein was giving this information to the Israeli government. Mainstream media in America won't even cover that. And so just as a culture in all of our institutions, not just the presidency, the fact that this just kind of slips into the news cycle that he's hosting Jeffrey Epstein for Thanksgiving in 2017, and it really doesn't get a whole lot of attention is really a sad indictment on the moral collapse of the country at large and some of our most important institutions.
I completely agree. And you look at England, they shit canned their ambassador for his connections to Epstein. A member of the royal family, the former Prince Andrew, was stripped of his titles and where he lives and has been banished from the royal family. And Trump is giving show and tell executive order parties. And it's just like, oh, it's no big deal. It's a very fucking big deal. This is a big deal.
All right. And then Ron Filipkowski is one of my favorite tweeters, and he always sums up stuff very well. And he says, turns out the golden age of MAGA was an Epstein cover-up. 600,000 Chinese students, H-1B jobs for Indians, massive deficits, pardons for fraudsters and drug traffickers, blowing up boats, 50-year mortgages, tariffs on everything, higher prices, a ballroom, and an Al-Qaeda in the Oval. And again, this is just stuff that you will see people in MAGA. You will see pundits. You will see people in corporate media. You will see people you know personally in your personal life. Keep moving the goalposts. And it seems like with every capitulation to this man, the worse the institution becomes, the worse the individual becomes. I mean, look at Marco Rubio. Yeah. I mean, it's just, you know what we should do? We should do a weekend episode of the devolution of Marco Rubio, starting when he was first in Senate, the way he used to speak, the clarity that he had is too conservative for me, but he wasn't this depraved. Everybody that capitulates to this man, every institution that capitulates to this man, every corporation that capitulates to this man becomes worse for it. I can't think of one person who has defended him that has become a better, more likable person, or one corporation that has kissed his ass that has become a better corporation because of it. They've all become worse.